Summer is ending and it is time to get ready to go back to school. For some people, a new backpack with your favorite cartoon character or a notebook with your favorite sports team can mean a lot. But not all families can go out and buy their kids the coolest and newest school supplies to start off the new year. We, here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited, are looking to raise money for families in need and help their children get ready for the new school year. No child should start out the new year feeling like they're already behind because their families can't afford everything that they need. We do appreciate if you guys can help donate to our cause. Even $1, even sharing our GoFundMe does help in some way. With our donation, we are looking to buy backpacks, pens, pencils, notebooks, and more. Also, a portion of the money raised will actually go towards buying new shoes for kids who do need them to start off the school year. Please head over to pwunlimited.net/helpkids to donate today. Thank you in advance for helping out our cause and helping get kids ready for school.
Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here on the 5th of August, 2019, to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. I thought tonight's Monday Night Raw was not a bad show. I thought there were some good things and, of course, some bad things as normal. But overall, I thought this was a pretty dang good show. So just seeing who's here with us in the live chat. We do have Luke Might, Ken Terminator, goodbye. Terminated by Google. Sorry about that, I read it wrong. We've also got Derek Bocek, Kristen McNutt, Tesla167, Snowstorm 0992. What's going on, everybody? Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw as I look through the chat here for a moment before we do get everything going. So just looking at things, I see a couple of you are asking about the WWE 2K20 stuff. We actually covered a little bit of that yesterday. And then after this live stream, I will have another video going up about more stuff for that game. So maybe stuff you've already heard, most likely. So just looking here at the live chat. If you do want to text in, give us your thoughts on tonight's show, you can do so at 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. Chris McNutt here says, I've been a member for 2 months, and what do you think of 2K20 having women in my career and the 4 Horsewomen Showcase? I think it's great. I think it's something that we expected, especially with my career, since Mickie James did kind of put out there that she was doing voiceover stuff. I think it's cool that they have the options for the women now, not just for the men in the My Career mode. Luke Might said, hey, Tim, did you hear that Jay White pinned Jon Moxley? Yes, I did. I watched it, and we gave you guys an update on that. We brought you an update that next day, after round 7 or day 7 for whatever you want to call it. So yeah, did hear it. Check the video we did put out on, I want to say, yesterday. That gives an update on who's now eliminated, who's got how many points, and who's still in contention to possibly win the G1 Climax. But how about we talk about some Monday Night Raw? So Monday Night Raw started off as most of the roster was out on the stage for a moment of silence for the shooting victims in both El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio. They then aired a video package or a video intro for Raw, which they usually don't air. As they came back, Samoa Joe was standing on the announce table yelling at Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Renee Young. Joe stood there and stated that he's being falsely accused over what happened to Roman Reigns last week on SmackDown. He asked Michael Cole if he saw him anywhere backstage on SmackDown, anywhere near Roman Reigns. Corey Graves tried to reason with Joe, then Cole told him a poll on WWE's website indicated that 80% of the WWE universe thought that what happened to Reigns was not an accident and that Joe may have been involved. Joe then said, I did a poll right now myself. 80% of the quote-unquote WWE universe, they're idiots. They then aired a video package recapping what happened to Roman Reigns on SmackDown Live, where he had the stuff pushed on him, and it's like they're supposed to tell us that this was a forklift accident. A, we didn't see no forklift, and B, where they were in the backstage area, to me, it doesn't look like a forklift could even fit, and C, they said that the stuff was not securely fastened on the forklift and they fell off. No, the stuff was not on a forklift because all the stuff combined would not fit on a forklift. And then they try to get this stuff way too convoluted, stating that the normal backstage forklift driver took the day off, so it wasn't him. Then they tried stating that it was some intern or somebody that's not 100% qualified to be driving the forklift. So they've tried too hard and put too much into this, and it just doesn't make sense anymore. So Becky Lynch's music hits as she comes out for her match, and they announce that her match at SummerSlam against Natalya will now be a submission match. So we did get here tonight Women's Champion, or Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch taking on Charlotte Flair. No, teaming with Charlotte Flair to take on Natalya and Trish Stratus. Nicholas True Love says, do you think Buddy Murphy attacked Roman Reigns? No, I get why you think that, and if you think that, then you may also have to think that it was Bruce Pritchard, because I know the reason people think it was Buddy Murphy is because you can see him in the background after all of it happens. Well, you can see Bruce Pritchard there as well, so that really doesn't, I don't think it's an indication of anything. So the women entered before the break, and the match began after the break, or right before the break ended. Natalya and Stratus both wore black. Natalya applied an armbar on Lynch, and Cole wondered if Lynch would tap out to her own move. Graves mentioned that the armbar was actually Ronda Rousey's move. Lynch went for a sharpshooter, then a disarmer, but Charlotte tagged herself in. Natalya was in control until Charlotte cut her off with a big boot. Charlotte pretended to tag Lynch, and she pretended to tag Lynch and then was booed when she pulled back. The crowd chanted for Becky. Natalya eventually blocked a big boot and hit a discus clothesline. Charlotte yanked Natalya down by her hair as she went for the tag. She then hit an exploder. Lynch tagged herself in, so Charlotte decked her from behind and left. Natalya applied a sharpshooter, but Lynch got to the ropes. Natalya refused to break, and the referee called for the bell. Hey, if you see something here? Trish didn't work at all. Trish did not work at all in this match. Like, I don't know exactly what happened. Well, I know what happened. They just didn't want her in the match, which is weird. You advertise her, and then she never gets in. It's not like Charlotte and Becky basically had Natty down the whole time and she couldn't tag in. No, Natty got offense. Natty had times where she could have tagged in Trish, but she didn't, which is weird to me. Joe Decker in the chat says, Tim, what's the noise in the background? Nothing that I hear. Might be on your end. If anybody else hears stuff in the chat, let me know. So Trish got in the ring and tried to make Natty break up the sharpshooter. Natty finally does, and she shoves Trish. Natty leaves, and Trish goes and consoles on Becky. We then got a Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. And this was an amazing 12 to 13 minute match. I just love this match. Andrade wore yellow and black. I don't know if that was on purpose since they're in Pittsburgh. Joe, I don't know. You and Razor say you hear it, but there's nothing that would make any noises. So Mysterio sent Andrade to the outside, and he slid under the ropes and did a sunset flip powerbomb, sending Andrade in the barricade, and this was great. This then led to a commercial break about a minute and a half into the match. After the break, Mysterio used a head scissors takedown to launch Andrade off the top. They replied they replayed the powerbomb, and Cole called it a vintage Mysterio, which I don't know how vintage him doing this really is. Graves said it was actually an example of Mysterio reinventing himself. Mysterio hit a kick to the head for a 2 count, then followed with a code red for another 2. Andrade fought back with chops, then got a near fall after a back elbow. Andrade hit a double foot stomp with Mysterio hanging off the top rope for a near fall. The crowd chanted 619 as Mysterio used a crucifix bomb for a 2. Andrade countered a head scissors takedown with a power bomb, then hit a running knee strike for a 2. Mysterio followed up the Canadian Destroyer for a 2 count, then followed with a 619. Mysterio went for the frog splash, but Andrade got his knees up. He then rolled up Bray, but only got a 2 count. Mysterio then used a small package for a 2. Andrade hit another powerbomb and then went for Mysterio's mask. As the referee yelled at him, Vega yanked Mysterio down over the middle ropes. Andrade followed up the hammerlock DDT and pinned Rey Mysterio again. Really, really good match. I think this is the match of the night. Kristen says, is it true Kane is returning on August 23rd, 24th for live events? I have not heard that, but I can look into it. With that, we then see Kurt Angle backstage. We learn that he is going to be... Well, we don't see him backstage yet. Oops, sorry about that. Punched my microphone. So we then learn that Kurt Angle is going to be a special guest referee. Joe Decker, no. So Kurt Angle, we learn, is going to be a special guest referee for Cedric Alexander versus Drew McIntyre, and we know how that goes. The Photoshop job on this was horrible, though. They had footage of Maria and Mike at the OBGYN's office in the waiting room, and you can tell this was just backstage. Like, what waiting room has a pink curtain as their background or their wall? It was weird. They said it was specifically 2 p.m. when this was aired or shot. Maria bragged to the other patients about being a pregnant champion, then told Mike he had one job: protect her, the baby, and the belt. They were then called into the doctor's office. After break, we see Mike and Maria, and now they're with a doctor. The doctor was washing her hands, and they only showed her from behind. Mike wanted Maria to relax and gave her a kiss while pushing down her shoulders. The doctor was actually NXT referee Jessica Carr. She then counted the fall, and Mike became the new 24/7 champion. So they figured out a way to get a pregnant champion pinned. Just have her husband do it. Crowd actually popped for this. Mike ran out of the office and celebrated being champion. R-Truth and Carmelo were in there, but they were in disguise. Truth said his water broke, and he pulled a toy baby out from his clothes and tossed it in the air. Mike tried to catch it for some odd reason, and then Truth schoolboyed him. Boom, Truth. What is this, 11-time 24/7 champion now? So after that, Becky Lynch was interviewed by Charlie Caruso. Lynch said that Natalya would let Canada down when she, as she has her whole career. She mentioned Natalya complaining on social media about not getting chances that Becky did. Becky said that the machine gave her no choice, and they gave her opportunities, and she took them. While Lynch stood on top of an arena bleeding with a broken nose, Natalya was on a reality show, changing her bikini on social media, perfecting her duck face. Landon, I don't have one. Lynch said that she would give Toronto a new hero, herself. Lynch was really good here. Then they cut to Natalya, who apparently was listening with Sarah Schreiber, and she says, Natalya, what's your response? And Natalya basically just said that if she applies the disarmer, she'll break her arm because she's not going to tap. Natalya said that she would take the title in Toronto. So we then learned that Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are here, and they come out after the break. Heyman said that he wants to educate the audience. Heyman questioned all the talk about Seth Rollins being the Beast Slayer and the Architect who would burn down a Suplex City. They aired a long video package of Lesnar destroying Rollins last week. Heyman said that he dropped to his knees and begged Lesnar to show mercy to Seth freaking Rollins. Heyman knew that WWE needed a new hero and admitted that the beating Rollins received was borderline criminal. He found out some inside information moments ago that Rollins was actually in Pittsburgh and in the building. Heyman wondered why they would cheer for Seth Rollins. He said Seth has more balls than brains. Rollins' music would then hit, and the announcers actually said, well, there's his music, but is he actually going to come out? And he eventually did, very hurt, very gingerly, selling the injuries, and he had a steel chair. Rollins would eventually make it down to the ring. He charged at Lesnar and with a chair, and Lesnar easily dropped him with a kick to the stomach. Lesnar hit him with a chair and drove him into the turnbuckle. Lesnar let Rollins get to his feet and then shoved him down. Lesnar then gave him an F5 and posed with the belt as the crowd booed. After the break, Cole recapped what had just happened and casually said Rollins was destroyed again. They had footage from during the break, and Lesnar gave him yet another F5. As referees were checking on Rollins, he asked for a microphone. He said that he wanted to be himself. He asked if he can be himself. And he asked himself a simple question all week. Is this worth it? As he spoke, the crowd started giving him the yes treatment. And I'm like, why? Why? He said that the thing that he loved was getting beaten to a pulp last week and week after week. He said the answer to is this all worth it is yes, it is worth it. He said this is all I have. This is all he ever wanted. This is all he's got. And my thought was, really? Really? We know Seth owns his own wrestling school and coffee shop, so he can always just retire on that. Rollins said that he would beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam with no authority whatsoever. He added, I guarantee it. Rollins rolled out of the ring, slowly walked away, and did not want to get on the stretcher that they did have for him at ringside. Did not look good at all on Seth, but if you look at WWE booking, basically told us that Seth's probably winning on Sunday. But who knows? It's Brock, and Vince can go, screw it. I want to keep the title on Brock. Charlie Caruso went to interview Kurt Angle backstage. He said that he loved being back home in his hometown of Pittsburgh, where I thought he lived in Pittsburgh, so why does he got to be back home in Pittsburgh? It's not like he's on the road. Anyway, Street Profits interrupt. They talked about their title defense in Toronto this Saturday, one night before SummerSlam. Angelo Dawkins beatboxed Kurt Angle's theme, and it's actually kind of cool. Really cool. Crowd chanted the "You Suck" parts. Joe, I have no clue what you're hearing because I don't hear anything. Then they had a cooler, pulled out some Solo cups, and then milk. They were very excited to share some milk with Kurt until Angelo told them that he promised his wife he wouldn't do anything crazy tonight at Raw. Ford wondered, are you really Kurt Angle or are you Mike Kanellis? Angle caved in and agreed to drink some milk. Very dumb. Drew McIntyre showed up. He was about to approach Angle, but Dawkins put his arm up to block him. He reminded Angle what he did to him months ago and warned him to call this match straight down the middle. Nolan perfect? No, I'm not. I'm good. So, minute and a half match, maybe at best. Viking Raiders defeated some jobbers. I didn't even get their names. Killed them with a Viking experience. They then aired a Harley Race tribute video. Crowd gave it a standing ovation as they chanted for Harley. We then got special guest referee Kurt Angle comes out before the match. Cedric Alexander, Drew McIntyre come out, but before anything can happen, Cedric was attacked by Drew on the ramp. Then, the lights would go out. When they would come back on, kinda, Bray Wyatt was in the ring, putting the mandible claw on Kurt Angle, so it does look like it wasn't just a one-time thing with Mick, but he's using that mandible claw going forward, it looks like. And I think it's perfect. He can just show up out of the darkness, throw that mandible claw on. You don't really got to be able to see too well to put it on. And boom, have someone pass out. So then, we got Gallows and Anderson against the New Day. And this match lasted 24 seconds, basically before AJ jumped in and caused the disqualification. They said Kofi was not here, but after the DQ, out would come Ricochet to make the save. We then got a 6-man tag after the break. AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. The original, the only, what do they call them? The original, the official, the only, the OC. And like the graphics pop up saying all that on the screen too during their entrance. Dumb. So it was the OC against Ricochet, Big E, and Xavier. OC worked over Big E, who fought back and gave Styles a belly-to-belly suplex. Woods made the hot tag and hit Anderson with a running forearm, an elbow, and an elbow strike. He also took down Styles and gave Anderson a Shining Wizard, but Gallows broke up a cover. Ricochet gave Gallows a flying dropkick, and Big E clotheslined him out of the ring. Ricochet then fought Styles off, but Gallows launched him into the barricade. Styles tripped Woods from the outside. Then Anderson and Gallows gave him a magic killer to get the victory. Wasn't much of a match, but it wasn't bad, and it was just like they needed a match. Boom, there we go. Also, Luke Gallows did wear face paint. Hasn't worn face paint, I don't think, at all since coming to WWE, and they stated that Gallows wants to wear the face paint because when he wore it back in Japan, it kind of gave him like a, what's the word Corey Graves used? Like a rejuvenated spirit about himself, or like made him feel more powerful, I guess. I don't know. We'll see where this leads to. So then we see Samoa Joe backstage with the stage hand, and he's like, oh, Roman's almost here? Okay, I'm going to the ring. I'm going to shut down Raw. So they aired another replay of the SmackDown angle with Roman. Joe knew about Island Time, but said that this was getting ridiculous. He called out Roman. Nobody showed. Joe grabbed a chair and sat down. He then got frustrated and said, well, no. He got frustrated and said that he wants his apology. He gave Reigns to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Reigns didn't show, and the crowd starts chanting for CM Punk. A stagehand then came out and told Reigns, hey, he's here. He's in the parking lot. So Joe's like, I'm going to meet him out there. So Joe goes out to the parking lot and is yelling at Roman. Roman gets out of some SUV. They're talking crap to each other. Roman all of a sudden looks to his left. And as he does, he jumps back in the car or the SUV, and a car actually rams the back of the SUV. Joe all of a sudden seems stunned, and they went to commercial break. After the commercial break, they showed footage from during the commercial where Joe was actually very concerned for the well-being of Joe and Hawaii, Roman Reigns. Roman was trying to get up and sit up and get out of the car, and Joe's just like, where's security? Where's EMTs? We need a medic. Roman, stay down. You're hurt. I don't want you to get any more. Like Roman or Joe all of a sudden got sympathetic for Roman, and it might be the fact of, hey, enemies, but you still respect them, and you don't want to see him actually get hurt. And that's why Joe was all like, I didn't do the stuff on SmackDown. I'm offended that I'm being accused. Maybe he's trying to say that he doesn't hate Roman that much. Bada boom, there we go. The rumor is that it could have been Daniel Bryan, but we honestly just don't know. They also showed Triple H coming out to check on him. So we'll see if it leads to anything. I mean, hopefully it leads to a match at SummerSlam between Roman and somebody, and we find out tomorrow on SmackDown. So then we got a 20-minute elimination fatal 4-way women's tag team championship match. So cut to the chase, Iconics first eliminated, and then the announcers had to tell us like 15 times, Iconics are eliminated. This guarantees new champions. It guarantees new champions. It guarantees new women's tag team champions. Like, I don't know how many times all three of them had to say guarantee till we understood what guarantee meant. So after the break, the bell rang to start the match up again. So I guess they all stood around during the commercial. Full 4 minutes. Whatever. Bliss squared off with Asuka, but thought better of it and tagged in Sonya Deville. Asuka hit yes kicks, then Deville fought back and responded with kicks of her own. Sane tagged in, and they took turns striking Deville. Bliss was then tagged in and went toe-to-toe with Kairi Sane. Sane made sure to point out that she's slightly taller than Alexa. It's pretty funny. Sane made sure. Rose then tagged herself in and briefly got the better. Asuka was in there and caught her in the Asuka lock where Mandy Rose did tap out. Final two teams. Kabuki Warriors and Alexa and Nikki Cross. So after the break, Asuka had Nikki in a leg lock. So I guess the match went through the commercial there. Asuka transitioned to an STF, but Cross escaped and racked Asuka's face. Few people chanted for Asuka here. And Nikki Cross tagged in Alexa. Sane got tagged in and gave Bliss a running dropkick, 2 neck breakers, and a crossbody and a sliding forearm. Asuka tagged back in. Nikki Cross got in and Asuka gave her a code breaker. They knocked out Cross and Asuka put Bliss in an Asuka lock. Bliss reversed in a cover for a near fall. Asuka knocked her down with a kick, and Sane went to the top, but Cross knocked her off. A lot of stuff happening here. It was just like, what the heck? Finally, Alexa Bliss did rock her with a right. Bliss took her down, got on the top rope, hit the Twisted Bliss, pinned Kairi Sane, your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They then aired a replay of Seth Rollins getting beat up earlier in the day. They showed the announcement. The announcement of. Wait, did I write this one? No, never mind. So Cole said, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe October 20th is the day you can get WWE 2K20, the video game." And I think that's the wrong release date because I'm pretty sure it was August 22nd. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. So then Miz came out and we go to commercial. We know that Miz was coming out for a contract signing for Miz TV. It's supposed to be Miz versus Dolph at SummerSlam. Shawn Michaels came down as well for some god-awful reason. And so Miz introduces his guest, Shawn again wearing that NXT hat. And Ziggler comes in, signs the contract really quick, says that he's been carrying the WWE on his back for the last 10 years, even when he didn't have to, even when he wasn't supposed to be. He said that he's been the best thing in this company since Shawn lost his smile and Miz lost his balls. Ziggler said that he would finally get the adulation that he deserved at SummerSlam. Miz then said, "You didn't read that contract, did you?" And he goes, and Dolph kind of looked confused. And Miz goes, "I'm going to love getting my hands on you next week on Monday Night Raw." Dolph looks a little confused. And he goes, "I see you're confused here. And that's because I've been thinking all week, I don't need another SummerSlam moment in defeating you. But there's somebody that may not have many SummerSlam moments left who is going to be your opponent. It's not me." And he looks at Shawn. And he goes, "It's this guy." And out would come Goldberg to a huge pop from the crowd. Ziggler bailed. Goldberg signed the contract and got on the mic and said, "Guess what, son? You're next." Ziggler freaked out. Perfect reaction here by Dolph Ziggler. Freaked out up the ramp. Then Michaels gave him a super kick as they went off the air. Crowd was all over seeing Goldberg. We knew that this was going to be the match. It had been rumored for a little while now. So yeah. Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler this coming Sunday at SummerSlam. So I guess also that means Dolph versus Miz next Monday on Raw. Because Miz said, "I can't wait to get my hands on you next week on Raw." So I guess that's what we're going to be getting. With that now, let's take some calls. I can actually take calls tonight. If you do want to call in, do so at 559-475-8682. 559-475-8473. Again, you can call in at 559-475-8473 as we do get that going. Got a word for you right here.
Summer is ending, and it is time to get ready to go back to school. For some people, a new backpack with your favorite cartoon character or a notebook with your favorite sports team can mean a lot. But not all families can go out and buy their kids the coolest and newest school supplies to start off the new year. We, here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited, are looking to raise money for families in need and help their children get ready for the new school year. No child should start out the new year feeling like they're already behind because their families can't afford everything that they need. We do appreciate if you guys can help donate to our cause. Even $1, even sharing our GoFundMe does help in some way. With our donation, we are looking to buy backpacks, pens, pencils, notebooks, and more. Also, a portion of the money raised will actually go towards buying new shoes for kids who do need them to start off the school year. Please head over to pwunlimited.net/helpkids to donate today. Thank you in advance for helping out our cause and helping get kids ready for school.
All right, so with that, let's take a call. Caller on the air, what's going on? Nope. Let's try this call. Sorry about that. Caller in the air, what's going on?
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I would like to get your opinion on something. It's about like well, not the last segment, but about Ziggler. Honestly, in your opinion, what was the point of him coming back as he's just getting squashed time after time? It kind of seems pointless. He's not, honestly, every time Ziggler's on the mic or something, I just like, dude, no one cares that you've been doing the same promos for years and years and you haven't gone anywhere, dude. It's like, I don't dislike the guy, but he's just the same and nothing. He's just the same.
So I like Dolph Ziggler, but here's the thing. Dolph Ziggler is not someone that they see as like a top guy or someone they see as a world champion or even a champion right now. But they see him as somebody that can go in there and basically have a good match with almost anybody. And so Dolph's basically right now the guy that can go in there. They can say, hey, we need you to face so-and-so. We need you to face Goldberg. We need you to face Miz. We need you to face Kofi. And he can go in there and face just about anybody and put on a good performance. And that's what Dolph's job is right now, to go out there with whoever they say to go out there with and have the best match possible. And, you know, I think Dolph's been doing a good job since he did return earlier this year.
I would agree with you on all that, but I just can't, personally, I just can't buy into him because I kind of know the outcome.
Right, and I do 100% agree with that no one's going to get behind a Dolph Ziggler when you know that he's just there to lose.
I just can't. He's a great performer. You're
Yes.
right, but I just really just can't get by him. Like, dude, you're great, dude. You're not winning, no, but you are great, dude. You're not winning.
I mean, it's just, I think Dolph's one of those guys that they've very underutilized and never really let show the full potential that he could have shown.
He's been champ like what, one time?
I mean, he's been
World
icy.
champ one time?
Yeah, the one time when he cashed in Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I
Me
feel
too.
like they wasted the opportunity on him. Like you said, that in my opinion, they're doing the same thing with McIntyre. They're doing the same thing with McIntyre, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. From everything I'm hearing and being told, it looks like after SummerSlam, Seth is going to be feuding with McIntyre, and it looks like Seth is getting the belt. So McIntyre is going to become the new number one contender for the Universal title, most likely.
My question is, that's great, but will he win? I've been waiting on him to be champ for a long time.
I hope
I know
he
you
does.
have to. I know you and a bunch of people in the chat have to.
I hope he does eventually win that belt, but I don't know. Like, Vince has that thing to where you can have, he's got a thing where you got to give the babyface a good, decent, okay run. And they're coming off of Brock, just the champion right now, so they don't want to put the title quickly back on another heel. I can see something like that happening. So he may be just a sacrifice for Seth Rollins, unfortunately.
That would suck. Well, thanks for taking the call, Tim.
Not a problem. Thanks for the call and have a great night. If anybody else does want to call in, you can do so at 559-475-8473. Put the number in the live chat for you guys as well. Let's take a call. Hey, guy. Caller on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty good. Well, I want to say the Raw was pretty good tonight. It had some pretty good elements. I really loved the Andrade Rey Mysterio match.
Loved it, too.
And for all things considered, I think the women's tag team championship match was pretty good, I would say. It was like...
Could have been
not
worse.
bad. Yeah, it could have been worse, exactly. But, hey, I want to ask your opinion here. Me and my mom were talking, and she was like, that this means, Seth Rollins is going to win this Sunday, 50-50 booking. And
Right.
I'm like, that doesn't apply to Brock Lesnar. I'm like, I still think Brock Lesnar wins.
So,
how Brock Lesnar is.
Yes and no. Because a lot of times, like we've seen with the Roman Reigns stuff, Brock gets the upper hand, and he's supposed to lose. Like WrestleMania
34.
Pardon?
WrestleMania 34
Right.
when Roman was
WrestleMania
supposed to
34.
win.
Roman was supposed to win, and less than a week before the show, after they did the last angles on television, Vince changed his mind and goes, you know what? We're going to keep the title on Brock. So they made Brock look strong over Roman because Roman was going to win. And so it could be the same thing here. Seth looked weak because he's going to win on Sunday, but at the same time, it's like you said, it's Brock Lesnar, and Vince can change his mind the day of and say, never mind, I want to keep the title on Brock.
Kind of off topic, but didn't Roman Reigns find out like that morning or that like same hour that he was going on, like for WrestleMania 34?
I think it
Didn't
was
they
not.
tell him, like,
I think
last
it
minute?
wasn't the same day, but it was like that weekend. It was like over the weekend, less than like 48 hours.
Yeah. All I know was that crowd, including me at home, was stunned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but anyway, who do you think could be the mystery attacker? I mean, I know everybody's saying Daniel Bryan, and some weird people saying Buddy Murphy because of the spot, that happened,
Right,
with
and-
him. We saw.
I mean,
I don't know.
The only thing I can think of is Daniel Bryan if you look at future advertisements as far as who Roman's going to be working with after SummerSlam, and that is Daniel Bryan. So
Yeah. And he needs something to do. So
yeah, and so I don't know, especially it's going to be weird if it's Daniel Bryan because they've been doing the whole career-altering announcement, and then this. It's like this has nothing to do with a career-altering announcement. So hopefully everything comes to light tomorrow on SmackDown, but I don't have any faith. It's WWE, and they can drag to be honest, I would not be surprised if this gets dragged out and Roman doesn't even wrestle at SummerSlam for some reason.
Yeah, for sure. Or like something like keeps the story going at SummerSlam.
Yeah, like they.
But,
right.
But what was I gonna say? Is it just me? This is my personal opinion. I'll let you go after this, but this is my personal opinion. I don't think AJ's heel run has been as effective as his 2016 run. Like, is that just me?
I say give it time. It's still
he's been
early.
losing clean, and yeah, that's true. But all right, I'll let you back to the show. I'm going to SmackDown tomorrow, and
Awesome.
I'm meeting Charlotte Flair tomorrow morning.
Nice.
So
have fun.
All right. Yep. Thanks. Bye.
Have a great night. So, like I said, I don't have too much faith in this Roman Reigns thing. Like, we've seen him get scaffolding or quote-unquote light grids, whatever that is, pushed on him. And then we got the car. They tried to ram his car tonight. So, I don't have too much faith in all of this, but we'll see where it does go. With that, I want to say thank you guys for joining me here tonight for this Monday Night Raw review. We'll be live again tomorrow following SmackDown Live. And then we'll be here on Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be a good show. Got a lot of news to talk about. Plus, got Nick with me. And we got our predictions for both SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver Toronto. So with that, again, have a good night, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow after Raw. No, after SmackDown. I'm looking at the Raw logo. Got me all confused.